Hi everyone, it's Joe from Weedon, Melbourne. Just trying to get this all set up because I've just been literally out in the garage trying to shorten it so that it all kind of sits properly in the way that I want it to. So that's why I'm fiddling a little bit. And of course that had to happen in the last 5 minutes, so I apologise with the wriggling and everything. But that's okay. How are you all? We're here in Melbourne at the moment and it's chilly, probably about 10 degrees here at the moment. So I've got my jumper on, the heater's on, not quite in my pyjamas, but I won't be far away. So I thought I would start today with this card. I'm going to update it. So this is using our... oh gosh, I can't find anything now, can I? Our Butterfly Beauty thinlits and rhinestones, obviously, an old punch that we've got and some old ribbon. So I thought I'd do a bit of an update because I've got a couple of people that I want to send this to, and it's nice to use current products because then that's something they might be able to emulate in their own classes. So if we're ready to go, I know that Rails and Judy are. Hi. If you're ready to go, I'll get started. So I'm starting with a base of Flirty Flamingo, Shock Horror. It's a pink, which I don't usually work with. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to crease this down. So this is a base of 21 centimetres by 14.5 and scored at 10.5, obviously, to make the card. So how crazy are our weathers all around Australia, hey? New South Wales are going through some shocking times. And meanwhile, we're here in Victoria, which seems just sublime. We're complaining about the weather, about how cold it is, and yet other people are just, suffering in so many worse ways than we are. People in Perth are dealing with 42 degrees and we're in, sub-zero temperatures. It's bizarre. So on top of this Flirty Flamingo, if I can find my... No, I can't. My scalpel. New South Wales as well. Oh, sorry, Queensland as well, Judy. I know. Just awful. So, and it makes me worry. We've got... on stage in Sydney next weekend, which is fantastic, but it makes me wonder if some demos just won't be able to make it, which will be awful for them. They may not be able to get out, or it may be too risky for them to leave, so that makes it really difficult. So I'm putting a matte down of Whisper White, and this is 0.5 centimetre smaller than the rest of it, so it will be 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Let me turn the speaker off so that people can't hear when it tings. Hey Julie, g'day. How you going? And I thought I saw someone else comment, but it's gone now, so that's right. Then I've got a piece of, it's not Pool Party, it is Coastal Cabana, and I've run that through our subtle embossing folder so that it's got just subtle ridges on it, hence the name, obviously. It almost looks linen-like, but it's just beautiful. It just gives enough of an effect rather than doing something plain like this here. It just gives slight detail to the background. I just think it's wonderful. I'm going to remove the tape for that as well, if I can. So I'm madly preparing my swaps and trying to organise our itinerary and everything else that's going on for on stage next week. A friend and I have actually got tickets in Melbourne on Friday night to go to U2, and then we're going to crash in a hotel in the city and then head to the airport early Saturday morning in order to try and get to on stage. So it's going to be crazy, but it will be worth it. U2 was the very first concert I saw many, many years ago, Rattle and Hum with BB King. And so I can't wait. I think it'll be fantastic. So just like on this card here, I've used the Butterfly Beauty thinglets. So I've already gone ahead, because I've run it through the Big Shot a couple of times, I've already gone ahead and run the Flirty Flamingo through the Big Shot. And so then that comes away. The only thing is, I now need to do the pokey pokey thing. To do the hokey pokey and take all of these out, hopefully. So yeah, U2. Have you seen U2, Julie? Have you seen them live? I just love them. Love what they stand for. Love their music, obviously. Was listening to them today in an empty house. So it was fantastic. Had it turned up and nobody cared about my dancing or my singing. It was great. Oh, here we go. So just remove all of those things. Being careful not to rip the butterflies. Here we go. The other thing you can do too is see how we've got little bits of extra pieces here that get stuck. What you can do is do a shim or a layer of baking paper between the die and then the cardstock. So you make a sandwich with the die, the baking paper, and then the cardstock, and that actually means that the die moves away from your cardstock really easily, and then you don't seem to get as many pieces like this in it. So, look, twice, Julie, oh my gosh. No, I've been lucky enough to see them once. But yeah, they were fantastic. So, and the word is that this might be their last concert, so I'm super glad that Susan and I can go and enjoy the night. It just happens that it falls on the same weekend as on stage. So if I had the tool, which I don't, the brush, and I can't think of the name of the brush that it is, but there's a rolling brush that you can get that's got thick pieces to it, and you can roll it over this piece of cardstock, and it actually removes all these pieces really well. I'll get that information for you in a minute if you like, just so I can remember what the name of it is. So let me just remove all this out of the way. There we go. Start with a fresh palette. Oh, one more piece. It's going to annoy me if I don't get that out. There we go. See, so that is going to sit like that. And I quite like, depending on how you angle it, you'll end up with some of the pieces over the edges. And I think as long as it doesn't go beyond the edge of the card, it adds a bit of dimension and a bit of character, I guess. Let me stand up and find my fine tip glue. Ah, there's an attachment now for the pick tool. Oh, I've got the pick tool. Actually, I had it out the other day. Oh, that'll be with all of my things for the swaps. So that's why it's not accessible now. Okay. So using the wet glue, the fine tip glue, I just put a couple of drops around the butterfly. You don't need a huge amount. And it just means that it'll stick it down. Because you'll see in a moment, I'm going to put some of the sentiment over it. So that will actually help to adhere. Oops. That will help to adhere it too. There we go. Now, the biggest thing when you're putting it down now is make sure that when you put it down, that's where it stays. Because I don't want any trace of the glue anywhere other than where I've placed it. And for someone who doesn't like pink, I'm actually liking this colour combination. It kind of works. Hopefully that will stick down. There we go. I've just realised I haven't done the ribbon bit. Should have done that first. I was a bit too quick. Okay. Let me close this glue before it dries. And then I'm going to pull out a piece of the Whisper White polka dot ribbon. Just cut it off there. And here we go. We'll see how I can do this. Here's a trick for you. When something like this needs to be placed underneath and it's already stuck down, obviously you need to be careful because you don't want to scar the cardboard as you lift it up. So the idea is, if I can do it properly, to lift it up, but to try and keep the pressure on both ends and see it's able to sort of peel open. You don't want to move it too much because I certainly don't want to get any scarring of the cardstock on the inside where I'm going to write. And then I'm not going to be really fussy. I might have put it down lower or whatever, but because I've got access to this now, I'm going to put it here and just work out roughly. I need it down a little bit further. So the tear and tape is a little bit forgiving in that you can lift it up, you know, not long after you've put it down. There we go. See, mistake? What mistake? And maybe I haven't put enough glue on there, on the butterfly wing. So here we go. I'll just put a little bit more and see how that adheres now. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's going to go across there, but I'm not going to cut it yet because I'm not quite sure how long it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is stamp. So I've used the stitched nested labels. That tongue twister just always gets me. And I've used this particular one here that's turned over so that you can see. And obviously I've only cut it, a portion of it, because I don't need the whole shape. So I just used a scrap piece and just did that end bit there. And I'm going to stamp in Flirty Flamingo, the base colour of my cardstock, with the sentiment from Free as a Bird, and the sentiment says, "Thanks for being you." So this will actually go overseas. So perhaps they might see me making this card, although I haven't seen their name come up yet, but who knows, maybe. So I'm just going to try and get my stamping really straight, obviously. There we go. Close that up before I put my hand in it. And while I've still got the glue out, I almost always like to do this with our punches or our labels. Sorry, our punches or our dies when I'm doing sentiments. Is this really, really simple idea in order to make up a new label. All I do is just have the second colour underneath, a portion of it. Make sure that's nice and stuck. And then that just gives a pop of colour to lift the white off the cardstock. So now I'm going to get some dimensionals. Has anyone used the black ones yet? I still haven't played with them. I jumped and got them, and I just haven't used them. Possibly because I haven't made, you know, something that requires the dark, you know, the black dimensionals, but we'll see. Okay, so if that's going to go down like that, I'm actually wondering if I've made the ribbon long enough. Yeah, that should be right actually. And that's already angled, my ribbon here. Not that you can see it terribly well. Perhaps. This is why I went and cut the pipe that runs up and down here that's holding my camera up, so that the camera wasn't so far away from the card. So if you're noticing a difference, I'd love to know, because obviously I won't know until I watch the replay. So here you go. I might actually cut that on the angle a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Hey Jackie, how you going? The black ones are really good. Good to know. Okay, I am going to stick that down with a glue dot, I think. So, wonderful little gems these are, the glue dots. Once you can find them. My goodness, where are they? Ah, there we go. Ta-da! So, just going to pick it up with that. Stick that down here. And then that can just sit like that. There you go. Okay. And then this can just sit on the edge like that. There you go. So you actually can't see the ribbon very much, but it is a touch, you know, a little touch of detail. There we go. There's those. Now, the one thing I haven't done, actually, I've just realised, so I will have to pull out my big shot, is I haven't done a silhouette or whatever of the big butterfly. So I'll grab my white cardstock. I'm going to do it in white this time and do something a little bit different. So I will have to push all these out, won't I? So let's just quickly do all of that. While you can chat amongst yourselves, hey? So this die also goes with the stamp set, which is always great. And often stamp sets and dies come as a bundle, so therefore you can purchase it at a 10% reduction, which is fantastic because that's more cardstock money for you. There we go. Have we got them all? Yep. Okay. Let me get the big shot. Here we go. Got the plate on the bottom. Now I'm just wanting the butterflies, so just thinking if I can get... No, I can't get another piece. So what I might do is cut the whole piece out and I'll just use the butterfly and I'll keep the other ones for something else. So the reason I was saying before that I cut the butterfly out earlier was because sometimes it doesn't always cut through. So see, I can get some of those images out. And that's what I was trying to prevent, so that you didn't have to sit here watching me go through it 2 or 3 times or so. But my machines are quite old, and I've cleaned out one of them, but there's a chance that this could be the one that wasn't cleaned. So I'm just going to put an extra piece of cardstock in between to act as a bit of a shim, as a extra bit of pressure. And the other thing you can do too, oh, that's actually worked. Or maybe here. I was going to say the other thing you can do too is to rotate it. So run it through this way as well, because depending on the way that the pressure of the rollers inside the machine, it can change the way that the dies are pressing against the plates and obviously against the cardstock. Okay, that's come out pretty well. I'm happy with that. So let's get all this out again. See, this die is just so intricate. It's even beautiful just in plain white cardstock. So it would be so lovely to make into a wedding card, a sympathy card, a little girl's card, you know, this birthday card or something. This embossing folder just lends itself to so many different things, to so many different types of cards. So all we need to do is chop away these portions so that we just end up with the big butterfly and all of the pieces moved away, coming away from the shape. There we go. And like I said, this now gives me, was it 4 or 5? 4 butterflies to play with to make another card. Here we go. So if I put this on here now, of course it will look fine like that. But I might actually sponge it just to take it away from being so stark. So I need to find a sponge. Oh my goodness, I didn't anticipate doing this bit. And of course, oh, there we go. The only sponge in the place that I can find. Makeup sponges. Oh, Julie says try to put it on a slightly different angle so that it's kind of moving. Maybe. So I'm just going to kiss it slightly with a little bit of colour. I don't want to overdo it because I still want it to be quite not pristine as such, but I still want it to just have just a blush of colour, you know. And then, as I said, this butterfly will fly a long way away, along with a couple of others. I'm going to make probably 5 of these. So once I get into a routine, it won't be difficult at all. It's the kind of thing I like to do in front of the TV while I'm watching something, because I can't just sit and watch. So there you go, it's just got slight colour. All right, Julie, here you can decide. Am I going to go, do I move it down slightly so then there's almost a shadowing effect like that? I kind of don't mind that one actually. Or are you saying like rotate the white butterfly slightly? I'm intrigued. My internet's wrong, you think? Oh gosh, I hope not. Okay, so I think like that is fantastic. I'm going to put it down like that. So I'll get another glue dot. There are storms coming, so it could be a chance that our internet is a bit dodgy. I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. Put that down like that, and that's when I like to just lift up the butterfly wings slightly, just to crease the edge bit there. Although it will be flattened in the male, obviously. then hopefully, you know, the receiver will know to lift it up and to give her a bit of to give the butterfly a little bit of movement. And then it just needs a bit of sparkle. So I'm going to use the obviously smaller rhinestones on the smaller butterfly. Whoops, it's spinning around. I'm already amazed. There's not a lot of difference that I've done with this card in comparison to the other one, and yet it's just so different. Fantastic. There we go. Still got a couple of fibres from the dye on it. There you go. What do you think? I'm loving it. I really like that colour combination, considering I don't like pink. So these are the two side by side. Quite different. Same, but different, really. But just as effective. And yeah, just different. I'm loving it though. I think it's fantastic. So if you see any of the products that I've used today, they're all current. You can certainly contact me through my Facebook page here, or you can shop online at joweedon.stampinup.net. And I can help you. If you set up your account and nominate that I can help you, then I can help you should there be any problems. But other than that, you can certainly go shopping yourself, and those items will be sent out to you, providing you live within Australia. So thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping me warm on this chilly night. I appreciate all your time. Hey, Robin. G'day. Good morning. Where are you watching from? It's only 9 o'clock here. I need to know now. Hi, Sarah. Oh, I've got to wait for Robin's comment now. Do I have a brother, Kathy? No, in New South Wales? No, I don't think so. Hi, Marcia. Oh my goodness, everybody's coming on board now. Thank you. So here you go. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And for sticking by me considering the time change because of a work function yesterday. And if you follow my blog, you'll see some photos from that night, from last night. That'll be up next week, I think, in a couple of days perhaps. So thank you once again. I'm blubbering too much. I need to go. Have a great night. Stay safe wherever you are in Australia and the world, of course. And I appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Bye.